Hey Flosstube, this is Tara with wildewomancrafts, and today I am bringing you a slightly delayed Flosstube update, but you know, this time of year things just get very wild and hectic, and with the daily videos I've been uploading, I just kind of wasn't sure where I fell on the Flosstube situation. But I decided that I had enough to show to go ahead and just do a regular Flosstube update, and then this way, if you're someone who is overwhelmed by the daily videos, you haven't missed anything. And if you have been watching my daily videos, I think there's actually still 2 things I'll be showing today that have not made it into the dailies because they were sort of that end of November time period. And this is going to be a little bit of a weird one because I believe I only have 1 work in progress to show you. Everything else is a finish. And I am going to show at the end, at the request of my girl Chandria, I'm going to show the Autumn Lane Mermaid box because that came in. But everything will be timestamped. If that's not your jam, no worries. Yeah, so let's get right into it because I will disclose it is Wednesday, which means I went to the office today, which means I feel afterwards. So I got decaf coffee in my Wild Violet Stitcher's Tarot mug. Yeah, so I'm excited to talk cross stitch and get me out of the funk of being in the office. So I am such a baby. It's fine. Okay, so first up, see, I'm already in a better mood. My first finish since we chatted last is my grandpa's chart here. So this piece I charted from just like a quote that he and I picked out online. And I guess since it is complete, I will read it out once. So it says, "Of all my favorite things to do, the utmost is to have a brew. My love grows from my foamy friend with each thirst-quenching elbow bend. Beer so frothy, smooth and cold, it's paradise, pure liquid gold. Yes, beer means many things to me. That's all for now. I have to pee." This was his request. This is what he wanted, what he thought was worth me stitching out for him. No, I'm just kidding. Apologies. That was a weird cut because I had an alarm go off. Anyway, yes, so I charted this myself. This is on 28 count Be Stitch Me scroll. I believe it is an even weave, probably Lugana. And then called for. I wrote the pattern. There are no called for threads. And actually I had a little bit of a moment stitching this. I don't remember if I talked about this last time we chatted, but I had 1 dark green thread that I had picked for this, but then as I was starting to stitch the letters, I kind of was looking at the stitch count and I was like, ooh, I don't know if 1 skein will be enough. And it was, you know, something from a kit or from a box that I couldn't get a second one of. And so I kind of looked at DMC and was like, maybe I should do that. But DMC just does not have, I don't know if it's coming off at all deep green, but like this is a very, very deep green, almost black. And DMC just doesn't get into this territory. And so I actually pulled another like one-off special, you know, fancy floss that I had that looked close enough. It was kind of equivalent, but like 1 seemed a little warmer and 1 seemed a little cooler. And so I decided, I wasn't sure if you would know the difference when looking at it stitched, but just in case, I basically did like 2 lines in 1 color, 2 lines in another color, 2 lines in 1 color, 2 lines in another color. So if you could tell, it would look intentional, but I don't really think you can. Yeah, and then this is Classic Colorworks Honeybee. I really like the little subtle tonal shift we have going on in there. And the frame for this is ordered. I had it sent to my mom's so I can frame it there because it did not seem prudent to fly, to send the frame here and then have to fly with it to Texas. So I will have photos of that fully finished next time. Yes, so that is, yep, that's on that. And then next up, I almost forgot about like showing this off, but I finally got my Ink Circles Round Robin back. I can't believe it. So here she is. This is, oh my goodness, Elegant Squid by Ink Circles. And this was my first round robin piece I ever participated in with the best group I could have asked for. So we called ourselves the Rogue Round Robin. We were not formally in the like larger organized group. We just kind of organized ourselves. That consisted of Julie of Julie Stitches. Everybody will be tagged. Julie of Kansas City Girl in Colorado World, and Miriam of Marumi Designs. She's Marumi Designs everywhere now. And everyone did incredible. I love it so much. And this is on a 32 count Aurora, I believe. This was in a box, I believe the Christmas box, the Nice List box a year or two ago. So absolutely love this. The only thing I wish is that I had started it on one side and not in the center, so I could use this fabric for something else, but that's okay. So thank you everyone who stitched on that. It is such a pleasure, and I hope we do one again. Okay, next up, I have a finish on Stitch for Pride. I feel like I'm going really fast, but that's okay. We're just gonna keep it moving here. Yeah, here's Stitch for Pride. Oh my goodness. I am so happy with this. I can't believe it is done. And basically I just kind of had a big push for this in the beginning of December, because I sort of realized, you know, again, I'm about to pack to go home for the holidays, and having one less thing that needed to be packed would be ideal. So this is my finished spot sampler. This was stitched on 32 count baked clay by Fox and Rabbit. I love this linen. I love Fox and Rabbit linen. And so my last 2 months, if you watch my last floss tube, I put a call out to the masses of like, what colors should I use for my last 2 motifs here. So I did go with the Almond M&M Silk in Hugo down here for Molly Vaughn. And then I did use the terracotta cottage garden thread for Robert Indiana in the center there. And I think it came out spectacular. I love it. I love seeing all the colors. I have already purchased Stitch for Pride 2025. I am undecided if I'm gonna try to like keep up with that as it goes along, but it is money well spent just for the education. I've learned so much over the course of this project. And if you go watch, I'll link below, Dee has put out the sort of intro video for 2025, which will all be focused on two-spirit trans gender non-conforming folks. And it seems like we're going to be going like way back in history. Dee alluded to even like Egyptian, like ancient Egyptian persons, and so I think we're gonna be in for a treat. And Dee had his friend Al do a lot of the writing, and Al like is a writer. I think we're underpaying for this, Al, I'm pretty sure. So it's gonna be spectacular. The pre-orders, if you're watching this, you know, around the time I put it up, pre-orders for the fabric are with Mislaid Pages again, and Mislaid Pages Holovlog day 9, which I'll link as well, has a preview for the fabric, which looks incredible. I think, again, I really got a lot out of connecting with the stories and like picking a thread and using my stash, so I don't believe I'll be purchasing. And the called for threads are coming from Al out of Canada, and so you can't get them right now, and I don't really know what the restocking situation is going to look like with the postal strike. So anyway, I don't believe I'm buying any of the called for materials, but I did buy the SAL. I plan to do the learning. Whether or not I plan to stitch it along is a little bit up in the air, but let's be real, I'll probably keep I don't know, we'll see. So that is all very exciting, and that finish was very exciting, and what a spectacular experience stitching on that throughout the year. Okay, so now I have two fully finished objects to show you, or FFOs, and these were both of my Jingle Ball classes. So the Jingle Ball was this past weekend, and I took two classes. So I guess technically this first one is a start and a finish because I had not even started stitching on the project last time we chatted. So this is a start and a finish and a fully finish since we've chatted. But this is Hands-On Designs, #joy. And I freaking love it. It's so cute. I am so happy with it. I'll get you in there. So the kits this year, it seems like there was less of a focus on sending like threads and fabric, which I think is cool. So the called for was like all DMC. I did have to make one swap, this darker shade that borders this block. I had to just I pulled a thread and stash that was close because I didn't have that DMC and I didn't have time to make it to the store. But what the kit came with was the wool felt that is finished here, the Jabco, just another button company buttons, the twine, and then the fabric for the back, as well as like the interfacing and all that jazz. So yeah, I freaking love this. I feel like I learned a lot in this class. The applique was a very fun experience. It was very like meditative to do. I spent a lot of time on it. And I think it came out great. And I especially want to highlight, it's a little bit hidden behind the baker's twine, but I really loved these like big cross stitches we did as like texture down the trunk here. But yeah, Kathy of Hands-On Design is a fantastic instructor. I'm sure that is well known amongst most, but if you have the opportunity to take a class with her, you should do that. But yeah, I love this piece, and so I'm sure it'll be chilling back there in the future. Oh yeah, and then I don't think I said, so I did stitches with all the called for threads except for the one, and I did stitch it. I happen to have 32 count platinum, which was the called for thread, so that worked out great for me. Or fabric. I stitched on the called for fabric. And it is gonna get darker. We're just gonna keep it pushing. Next up, my other fully finished object from class is I took Tiny Modernist's Gingerbread House class, and here she is. Thank you for everybody who's been gassing me up on the daily videos. I have loved it. I will zoom you in here as well. So this piece was stitched separately in 4 parts. I might put a photo up of what it looked like on the fabric before I cut it. And then yeah, we had to cut it out and lace up these walls and sew it together, and it was very fun. And surprisingly, for like how, I don't know, intricate this looks, to me at least, like I feel that this finish was much faster than the pillow because there was so much applique on the pillow. And I took my time. I wanted it to look nice, but yeah, so this I stitched on 32 count Spiced Honey by Color and Cotton, and I did use all of the called for DMC on this. And as we will chat at the end, or I don't even know if I necessarily like made a note of this, but I did buy at the Jingle Ball. It was pretty good. I'll just say it now. I only bought the Bauble book, the physical copy, which is on the way, and then the Tiny Modernist released 4 other houses that she had previously released in magazines, so they're not even really new designs. You might have them kicking around depending on if you are a longtime magazine subscriber. But yeah, I love this, and I loved in class we talked about like, different ways if you wanted to make this an ornament or something. I thought about trying to make it an ornament and maybe like before I glued the felt down, like cutting a hole and having something under there, but I don't know. It's like 10% too big to be a good ornament size, I think, for me. So yeah, I don't know. I might stitch the other ones and I'll just have a little Christmas village sitting out. We'll see. We'll see. But that was a very fun class. Cheryl also did a fantastic job. Incredible. And like, it's just very nice because their instructions are so well written that it's just like a bonus to have them in class and to watch them and then get those like really technical questions answered. Okay, and last up, I have another finish for you as of last night, hot off the presses. This is Autumn Lane Stitchery's To All a Good Night. And I love this one a lot too. Let's see, I don't know if I need to turn the brightness up now or not as we get darker. Yes, I freaking love this. This is all DMC. And this was stitched on the called for fabric, which was 28 count white, linen, Lugana, I forget, but it's like a white opalescent, Zweigart base, whatever. But yeah, I freaking love this. I was asking on my, like Holly vlogs if people had thoughts about a finish. I know someone who finished this kind of onto like a plank, or not really so much a plank, but like it's one of those, it's inset in a frame, but it's kind of floating within the frame as opposed to being like just normally framed. And I think that could be really cool. I think like it has so much dimension to it that it would look really good in a more dimensional finish. Yeah, or somebody suggested a stand-up. That could be cool. So we'll see about that. But that was a finish last night, so that was very exciting. So my initial plans of like whipping down for the holiday or for next year are looking pretty dang good, if I do say so myself. So I have no new starts to show because the starts that I had, which were basically #joy and the Stitch for Pride like components, those are done. So we'll move right along into works in progress. And this one's not very exciting, certainly not in comparison to the finishes, but I did get back out. There's a group of us in a chat group who are playing or like trying out a new game, like rules TBD if we decide it's a good one. But basically the gist of it is that we're like assigning projects to the people who are playing and then numbers get called. And so you have to do certain stitches on certain things. So there are like technically 13 of us playing, but I just sort of listed, since we're trying to be responsible, I listed things that I already wanted to get good progress on, under people on the game, and I like duplicated and stuff. So that's partially why I got To All a Good Night done, is because I got called a couple times, and Stitch for Pride as well, which I already wanted to stitch on those things, so that was good. So all that to say is Cardinal's Promise got pulled this week, and this is a Stitchy Prose chart that I freaking love, and I wanted to stitch this for my mom as kind of a memorial for my grandmother, who as I was making my plans for next year, I sort of realized next year will be 10 years since she passed, so that will be really sweet to finish next year if at all possible. So that's kind of what I have in mind. I don't know, maybe the light is too much, I'm not sure. Anyway, and I'm glad that I basically got this sorted out, because I had started this and put about 150 stitches in, and I was a little bit avoiding it. And I think the combination of reasons was that it was a paper chart, which I've now like recharted it digitally for my personal use. And then also I'm stitching it on a 36 count, and I didn't know if I liked one strand or two. I had tested both before I had started stitching, and I thought I liked 2 strands better, but then I started stitching and it was just looking kind of puffy. I'm so sorry, I don't know which light is better. And I didn't know if I liked it, and so last night I got it back out and I was like, all right, decision time. Either we gotta rip all this out or we're moving forward. So I stitched this little leaf motif in one strand, and then decided that I did not like one strand better than 2. I don't mind if it's a little puffy. I prefer bigger stitches to like the more delicate look. So we are committed to 2 strands. We're feeling good about it, and we're loving that we can mark off in Pattern Keeper now. So I put another 180 stitches into this just on the border. So again, not very exciting yet, but I'm feeling very good about it because I feel much more confident about where I'm going with this, and that I'm gonna like the final look. And I don't know, I really can't tell you what fabric this is. Is it attached in some way? No, it is not. I will have to look this up for you. One moment. It is on, oh yeah, I don't think it has a name. I just called it gray. Oh yeah, gray linen from Bestitch Me. I guess it was from a fight night. Let me try the overhead light. Okay, maybe this is better. It's just getting darker. Okay, keep it moving. So that is the only work in progress I have since the last time we chatted. And then last but not least, I will quickly show, because it's just the one thing, this will be my last floss tube with my Star Wars scarf. Can you believe it? Yeah, I don't even know how to show it anymore. It's getting long. It's getting quite long. Here, actually, I guess that was a goofy way to do it. I should show you the end I'm working on. But honestly, this is how I work on it nowadays. But I am on the last, so there's like an A, B, C, and D chart. And I am on the D chart, which is the last one. So I guess the last time I did this, I feel like I can try to give you an idea of how much I have left. But maybe it doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, here we go. So, oh no. Okay, yeah. So here we have these ships, and then we have these ships, and then right here after the green section is the end of the scarf. So you can see I am starting these same ships. So I have like that much more to go. So we are on track. I should be done with this. You will be seeing it on the daily videos for sure when I finish it, but it's a very satisfying length. I'm very excited about it, and I'm excited that I will hopefully get to see the recipient of this scarf while I'm in Texas, and give it to him, and it will actually be a Christmas gift. And I didn't think I would want to get back into this, but I did see Cam the Stitcher shared on her Instagram story a over the garden wall double knit scarf, and you know, there's no repeats in that one, and it's only 2 colors. I don't know. I low-key, high-key kind of want to do it. I was looking at yarn, but I haven't ordered anything yet. We'll see. One step at a time. One step at a time. But yeah, so the scarf is going great, and that is the Starfighter scarf from the Star Wars like Knit the Galaxy book, and it lives in this very cute Star Wars bag. Okay. That is all my works in progress. In terms of plans, I am still hoping, we will see, that I may get a specific plans video out. But if, again, you're feeling overwhelmed, the top notes of my 2025 plans are, I'm gonna try to do a little bit of whipping down, in that I'm gonna do kind of the like 2 finishes to 1 start type situation. The year of 2025, I have dubbed the Salbatical. That is not a term that I came up with. That is from is a Star Killer X Stitch on Instagram. She put that under one of my videos, and I was like, that is it. And all across Jingle Ball, I was throwing Salbatical around. So it's taken off. But even so, I'm gonna allow myself 1 Sal, which, like I said, maybe Stitch for Pride 2025. And if I want to add an additional Sal, I think I might do something crazy and say it's like a 4-to-1 start. Like, I gotta clear stuff out to start a Sal. And then I do have 2 Sals to catch up on. Speaking of, I still have my Celebrate All Year charts. I completely whiffed on November. So now I have basically September and November that were complete misses. So I will start December and go for that. And then hopefully in January, I will only have like 2 of those charts to kind of carry forward in the next year. And then Arctic Animals, basically the goal there, hoping to be that by like March is the last piece. So I'm not stressing about it too much this month, but like I want that caught up by the time it gets to the last piece. I have not done my 2 October whip go goals. And one of the December ones. So let me grab that actually. So I have 2 fully finishes left. Oh yeah, I guess between December and October whip go. And my flight's in 2 days, so I don't know if they're gonna happen, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see if I could pull off a little finishing Christmas miracle here. And then I need to start another polar plunge chart, and then I also need to start, which I've been looking forward to this all year, and it didn't get called till December, but that's fine because it's seasonally appropriate. But this is the first of Satsuma Street's 12 Days of Christmas, and so this is Partridge and Pear. I freaking love this, so I do get to start this month, which I am very excited about. And then, yeah, I am doing 2 whip go boards next year is the other like top note for 2025. I am doing a friend board, which I have seen, I believe Bobby of Pumpkin Creek Primitives and Candy the 614 Stitcher have both done this before, where basically you fill your board with your friends' names. And when their numbers get called, I'm going to go to them and say, you know, which one of my whips do you want me to focus on? And again, I'm still like ironing it out, but I think it would be fun if there would be some kind of, there might be like dice rolling involved, and like maybe if they get a high enough dice roll, then they can pick a start for me. I don't know. It could throw everything into chaos, but anyway, that's a thought. And then the other whip go board I am still finalizing will be another board similar to like the one I had this year that will be lots of fully finishing tasks, and then starting things in series that I already have. So like still polar plunge, this again, the Swedish neat bells, just the little series that I have that are small. I'll put those on that board again as well, because that was a fun challenge this year that went really well until October. So yeah, that's kind of the top notes for 2025, but I have many more thoughts if you see a video come out. If not, I am so sorry. Yes, so quickly, I have a little bit of haul. Like I said, did get the Stitch for Pride. I shot the Jingle Ball a little bit. Speaking of Satsuma Street, she released the 5th day of Christmas this year, and I did get that kit immediately. So this is gold rings, and we had a deep discussion about this at the Jingle Ball as well, but apparently it is theorized that the 12 days of Christmas, all 12 things are supposed to be birds. So the 5 rings, the 5 golden rings we're familiar with, are on this ring-necked pheasant. And, you know, which makes sense because we still have like geese and swans, but then it's kind of like the lords, ladies, the maid, pipers. I was like, sandpipers, that makes sense. Anyway, I'm very curious to see from this point, like how it is that she's going to get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 things into an ornament of this size, but I'm loving it. I'm committed so far. So there's that. And then the other thing I bought because she was having a Black Friday sale is I finally caved and got the Cosmo pack for Funky Chickens. I'll put the chart up. I have wanted this since the moment I saw it, but I was trying to resist and be good, but then I had to order day 5. I'm committed to the series and it couldn't travel alone. So I got this Cosmo pack. So this will be my first foray into Cosmo, when that gets started. And then, yes, one last little bit of haul that's not really stitching related before we get to the Autumn Lane box. My partner and I went to I think these kind of exist across the US, but it's like the German Christkindl market. So we went there and got a couple of things. So I got this really darling, he bought for me, very sweet, a little sewing ornament, and really what got me was this chonky little iron. I don't know why, I love him so much. So yes, I quite liked this little ornament. I'll put him back on the tree gently here. And then the other thing I wanted to show, because I know I have so many fellow bird fans out there, is I got this Cornell Lab of Ornithology mini puzzle set. So all of these puzzles are 100 pieces. They're not big at all, but it's your favorite backyard birds, and it has some of my most favorite ones on here, like red-winged blackbirds and cedar waxwings. Those are like my most favorite. And then it has eastern bluebirds, which are probably one of the prettiest birds that we get on our feeder out here. And then the pileated woodpecker, gorgeous, stunning, amazing, iconic. And, you know, anyway, it's a good time. I just thought folks might be interested to know that this exists. I have not done any yet, but they came in this nice little set. So I'm excited to do those at some point. What point? I don't know. Okay. So now, from here on, I am going to formally do an unboxing of the Autumn Lane Stitchery Mermaid box. So if you are waiting on yours and you don't want to see, great seeing ya. And if you are curious, then stick around. So yes, quickly. One thing is missing because I ate it. Okay. Let's see how to do this in a like at all appealing way. So the first thing that we got two things from other sellers. So we got a pair of scissors in this like pretty kind of mermaid tail blue. And then they're the type that like point up a little bit, which is really nice. So those are nice. I think they just sourced those. And then this little pretty scissor fob. I love the little beach chair charm here. Is from, let me see if I still have the packaging for this. Let's see. The scissor fob is by Sweet Autumn Stitch on Etsy. It is very cute. And then we also got a little themed tail tuck. So cute. Which, if you've never seen this device, they could be a little finicky, but basically if you're playing thread chicken and you have a very short length of thread on the back of your work, that you can't really get like your needle through, you can shove a tail tucker through your stitches and then pull the tiny little thread back through. And sometimes I find that it kind of cuts the thread, but it's still nice to have. And this is from Stitch Mania Stash, I believe, on Etsy. And they look beautiful. Next up, we basically have supplies for the big pattern. So I think probably it will be most exciting if I just kind of show you the bits and bobs first, and then we get to the patterns and the art. So there are 3 patterns in this box, and one of them is like the big blingy mermaid. And they said she was gonna be like Dark Queen of the Earth sized, or, you know, dark, or of the sea, Dark Queen sized. So she is fully kitted. The other 2 patterns are not. So this mermaid has, you're seeing this correctly, 6 petite treasure braids, which is pretty fantastic and sparkly. She has, and I apologize, I kind of stuffed these into the bag. She has this much DMC. It's a lot of DMC, but it is fully kitted with all the DMC you need. And then she has beads, of course. So there are 2 kinds of beads. There's this like, I don't know, lavendery purple ones, and then these white ones. And then I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's a single pearl, and that goes on her necklace. So she has a little pearl. And then the called for fabric here that they provided is 28 count crystal splash linen, or I got the linen box. You could get linen or Ada. So I got 28 count crystal splash linen by Picture This Plus. And it is quite beautiful, very sparkly. I do think the light is catching that pretty well. Yeah, so here we go. Let's wind up to the big reveal of this mermaid here. So like I said, there are 3 charts. So first up, we have our smaller mermaid, Ocean's Serenade. And oh my gosh, she is also called for on Crystal Splash. So she, you know, they're saying what's very unique about her is that, you know, her tail is water, her hair is water. She's got these dolphins swimming around her. Very cool. And then the next one, which maybe low-key is my favorite, is Forgotten Treasure. I love Autumn Lane Stitchery's like silhouette type stuff. So, you know, it's got like the sunken ship and like all the fishies in the back. Am I ready after Deadly Aquarium again? And then the treasure is charted in Petite Treasure Braid, which is the one that is in the Big Mermaid as well. So that is nice that like that specialty thread is accounted for. And I did actually go ahead and order the called for fabric for this because I also did a little Black Friday shopping at Bestitch Me and had a gift card from Humans vs. Zombies with Black Needle Society, and I forgot to use it on my Black Friday order. So I basically, you know, that covered the cost of this piece of fabric. So that was very exciting. And then last but not least, here she is, the Siren of the Sea herself, the Mermaid Marina, yes, the Mermaid Marina. And she is quite dazzling. My sister kind of low-key, like when I told her all about the Dark Queen of the Earth and stuff, she was like, oh, well, you have to stitch Dark Queen of the Seas for me. But you know, those tentacles were quite intimidating, but she said she will accept this in exchange. So I think she would be so stunning with all of her sparkle. So you could see on her necklace, I think hopefully, yeah, where the pearl is supposed to go. I love just like the dynamic pose of her face and her arms. Yeah, so this is what we're kitted up for, and I will share. We get, I did not get the artist edition of the box, but you do get a print anyway. So here's the print of her. And yeah, very exciting. You know, I'm not a huge mermaid person, but with Autumn Lane, I just get FOMO real bad. I'm like, but what if I want it? Because they, you know, they can take, I understand why, but it can take a while sometimes for their charts to come out. You know, they like to keep things exclusive to their boxes. And so I got a little swept away. I can't lie to you. But the Frog Stitcher and I, Jennifer, we are low-key, she also got it, and we're kind of low-key planning to maybe start that Forgotten Treasure chart. So I gotta plan what I'm finishing to unlock this start. So yeah, that is basically what I have for you today. I am looking around. I hope you're enjoying the daily videos of myself and others. There's lots of great people opening and lots of great people who have shouted me out. That's it, Lynn of Lynn X Stitches Creates, Andrew of the Runner Stitcher, Stephanie and Allison at Cross Stitch the Globe, and then Cece of GGKCS. They all shouted me out. So sweet of them. And they're all of them, with the exception of Cross Stitch the Globe, are making daily videos as well, unboxing different things. So all very exciting. It's a great time of year, though I feel like a lot of us are messaging and joking and being like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to like watch videos in the morning and then I finish a video and I refresh and there's more there, which I love to see it, but oh my gosh, it is a lot of videos. So trying to stay as on top of it as I can for now before the whip parades come, because at least these daily videos are like usually under 15 minutes and then the whip parades hit and those are like hours long. So like I said, we will see if I get it together and do a plans video. And if not, I will see you in January for sure. And film my whip parade and end of year wrap up. I do like filming them in January, and also I am not here until after January with access to all of my works in progress. So that is that. The boxes I've been opening have been great. And yeah, I think that's all I got. I am feeling better. I'm ready to do a little stitching tonight. And I hope that, yeah, that you're taking it easy this holiday season, that it's being as gentle as it can be, and you're just able to get a few stitches in. And if you were at the Jingle Ball and we hung out, I had a great time. And if we didn't hang out, I hope you had a great time. And I'm gonna stop rambling now. But anyway, thank you so much for spending some time with me, everyone, especially during this month of very crazy. And I hope to catch you bright and early tomorrow morning. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.